You're watching TVP World's special coverage from the Globsec Forum in Prague. And with me now for an exclusive interview is Oleksiy Chernyshov, Deputy Prime Minister of Ukraine and Minister of National Unity of Ukraine. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Aaron.
So where do you see the peace process at the moment? We've seen these talks between officials in Istanbul, in the Middle East. Is Vladimir Putin showing any openness to peace?
Peace process, a great question. What we witness now, we witness Russia continuing terror actions and deliberately attacking Ukrainian civilian infrastructure every day and every night, using complex attacks, including drones, missiles, both ballistics and cruise. That is the daily life and daily scenario. Only the strength can motivate Russia to be at the table. Otherwise, we will be still witnessing this scenario. I think here, during the Globsec, we are discussing the joint actions. I think European Union, US, Canada, UK, Japan should stand together and to increase sanctions, to deprive Russia from their incomes from energy, also to develop the freezing asset mechanism, and to do more and to be more active. This is the only way. But if you would ask us, Ukrainians, whether Ukrainians are willing to have peace, I think no one in the world wants peace more than Ukraine and Ukrainians.
Can you see a world where Russia comes to the table and in good faith negotiates a peace agreement?
Well, I think the moment, as President Zelensky says, Russia understands only one language, the language of strength. And once our joint actions of civilized West or united West will be more active and more clear and more direct, I think that is the moment when Russia will be motivated, will be at the table.
You mentioned the united front and the importance of unity of countries supporting Ukraine around the world. If you had the likes of Donald Trump here around the table and other leaders, what is your message to them?
Stay strong and continue supporting Ukraine. That is the only message. We should go ahead in tackling and resisting Russian aggression like Ukraine is doing this every single minute. And I think we have demonstrated our ability to stand strong during this more than 3 years of the full-scale invasion into Ukraine.
How important to Ukraine is a path to EU or NATO accession?
It is absolutely critical and crucial for sovereign Ukraine to be part of the European family, to be part of the European Union. I think future Ukraine existing as a part of the EU. Obviously, significant measures in order to develop security for Ukraine, of course, lays in the framework on future NATO accession.
Ukrainians living abroad, you're also the Minister of National Unity. How important are Ukrainians living abroad? Those Ukrainians that have had to flee Ukraine since Russia's full-scale invasion, how important are they to Ukraine standing strong as a united front?
Thank you for addressing this question. We have now more than 30 million Ukrainians within the controlled territory of Ukraine and around 25 million abroad. And I would like to say that we value each and single Ukrainian around the world. And it's important for us to keep connected with each other, to develop links and to support Ukrainians abroad. Of course, we would welcome Ukrainians to come back and to encourage them once the war is over. And many of them dream about that. Meanwhile, it will definitely depend on a stable peace and on economic development of our country that we will do everything to achieve. And we would like to keep this connection with Ukrainian society throughout the globe. And we are doing this every day.
How important is Ukraine's relationship with Washington, with President Trump, given America's military might?
Absolutely important, absolutely crucial. And I believe US has its major role in future context of Ukrainian solution and the peacemaking process. Today, during the opening session of Globsec, a moderator has put a question to the audience whether the peace can be achieved by EU only or with the participation of EU and US. And obviously the answer, the majority has answered the second scenario. US is definitely needed.
And very briefly to end, are you worried about some of Donald Trump's rhetoric, about some of his relationship building with Vladimir Putin, that he seems to be giving the Russian leader at times the benefit of the doubt?
I think he understands the real picture, and he is very smart and intelligent to overview the objective situation and the way the Russians might be playing through their diplomatic ways and the way they used to do it over the years. I think it's clear and he will understand it.
Oleksiy Chernyshov, Deputy Prime Minister of Ukraine and Minister of National Unity of Ukraine, thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Aaron.
And that's all for this exclusive interview here on TVP World from the Globsec Forum in Prague. Do stay with us. I'm Aaron Dahmen. Goodbye for now.